Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Door Shutter coming back to episode 52 of Direwolf20's 1.18 mod pack, and today we're actually going to be getting into Industrial Foregoings or doubling, five timesing shenanigans, okay? So, I should have enough power in the system to actually go for a little bit here, because we're actually currently over an output of 1,000,000, and I'll explain that in a minute here, but I want to get into this right away. So, first things first, before we go downstairs, enrichment factory, infusing factory stuff, I've completed it. This whole series of just absurdity is that system. Okay, we also have crushing here. But the four infusing, we've got obsidian, diamond, redstone, and of course carbon, which is steel. It's all good. Everything's working. Just wanted to point that out real quick. I finally got around to it, right? So I've also increased this, which I thought I was going to put the, Industrial Foregoing stuff here. Yeah, I changed my mind. Basically what happened was I was not making enough uranium, so I tripled it. Well, we put a single one the one time, and then I doubled it after that. So now it's quadrupled because you have four different systems here, all producing, the clean uranium slurry into crystals. So now we need to kind of make another space, which I'm thinking I don't really want to push it this way any further. So let's just do this. Let's go over here. Actually, I think we could just put it right here if we really wanted to. But let's break out this wall a little bit. Okay. Let's push it 2 blocks. Let's go 3. So I do have the stuff crafted, but there is some things that we need to talk about before we fully get into this system. So the first things that we need with this is a washing factory, right? So a washing factory will place, let's just place this right here. Okay, so we got 4 washing factories. Let's face them actually this direction. So 4 washing factories, which will take a ore or a chunk. Let's actually grab a chunk here so we can actually demonstrate this. And I believe if we press U on this and we go here to washing factory, you need liquid meat to make raw ore meat. Okay, so let's throw this in here. Let's grab this brown tank and some fluid pipes. Let's also grab some of these. And what we'll do is we'll actually grab fluid pipes, not item pipes. I have the fluid pipes on me. Right? And we will pump this into here with this ender tank. And yeah, so there's some liquid meat. Now what we need to do is actually get power over here. So let's actually grab a flux point. Let's see here. Start. There we go, flux point. Let's grab some cables as well, just because I know I'll need them. All right, let's break this down here, and let's get this placed. Alrighty, so of course we'll throw all of that, and let's grab some stone here. Okay, so now what we need to do is look at this. Okay, so we're making raw ore meat. This is our first step towards or doubling, tripling, 4 timesing, 5 timesing with Industrial Foregoing. Okay, now what we need to do is actually get the, I believe, let's make sure before I, jump into this. So raw ore meat, if we look at the fermentation, so raw ore meat to fermented ore meat. Okay, and here's the thing with the fermentation station. Okay. Here's the caveat, and actually I'm going to need to set this up to be such, right? So each ore produces 500, from what I can see. So if we look at, for example, iron, which is not something we're going to be throwing in here because we void that anyway, and it's actually, I believe it's raw iron. Okay, raw iron. So if you actually throw this into a washing factory, it produces 100 per 100, and iridium produces 100 to 100. Okay, So I'm just trying to make sure that what we're producing. So it's 100 to 100. All right. So what that would mean is that we need a total of, let's see. So fermentation station, let's place this real quick. So the fermentation station has a buffer of 4,000. Okay. So if we wanted to do 4,000, we could, but that would be 40 ore, right? 40 chunks of whatever. So you'd have to make sure that you're throwing in 40, or you could not do this. And the reason I say this is because you can see it says seal win. Seal win basically means it will not allow for any more ore to be put in when this is processing. So once it's full, it'll start processing. Nothing else can be processed during that time. And the time is determined by the amount that you want to output, right? So, for example, since I'm putting in 100, if I wanted to do 2 times, I'd get 200 out of this, 300, 400, 500. But you can actually see there's a caveat to this as well, which is time and catalyst. For 2 times, 5 seconds, no catalyst. Awesome, cool. 3 times, 45 seconds, no catalyst. Cool. 4 times, 120 seconds, pink slime is the catalyst. 5 times, 300 seconds, ether gas is the catalyst. Okay? And this is the max. 5 times is the max. But you need to remember, you would need 4,000, or we could fill it to 2,000, or we could do 1 bucket. It really is all up to what we want to do. I believe what I want to do personally is actually stop this. So 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to stop this at 4,000 so we can actually get a test run for say, right? So if we do output, we do push, and then here we pull it, okay? And of course it's still producing. And of course we'll throw a cable back here as well. So now what we need to do is ether gas, which is actually this tank right here. So let's actually place our fluid cables down, right? And then let's actually just disconnect them. And then place this here, place this here, this here. And here's our ether gas, all right? So now what we need to do is actually get this thing to go, which is what it's doing. It's going to take a while, okay? And I don't actually know about the state of add-ons with these machines because I've actually never really tested it that much. So if we put a processing upgrade in here, let's say we throw as many as we can, okay? You can see that we are going a lot quicker, of course. Let's throw an efficiency and a speed, and then we'll throw in 2 processing upgrades. This should hopefully decrease the speed. I don't know by how much. I just know it's going to take a little bit less time. That's what I'm hoping. Okay? So, that is our caveat. How do we solve that caveat? Well, the only way that I would really think about this is actually with laser IO counting. Okay? How we did it over here, right? So over in this, we actually have this upgrade that is actually, well, which one was it? Hold on. I know it's one of these. I think it's actually this. This is only sending 3 per, and only 3. And that's it. I'm not 100% sure if that's the best option, honestly. But I guess we could try it. So let's actually try this. So we'll grab a laser node. Let's actually grab a diamond chest. This is just going to be a test. Let's actually go oak. Might as well not go overkill here just yet. So we'll do laser node. Why don't we just move this closer? There's no point in moving it all the way back here. This, if I can place the block here. All right, so this, and this. Let's just test it with the first one, actually. We don't need to go all out like I just said, and I proceeded to try and go all out. All right, so let's grab this, and let's go here. I don't need a fluid. I need an item card. Go here, and then let's grab some of these, because we can actually still do ticks 1 second, but we want to do 40. Okay. And we'll throw that here. And what we'll want to do is we'll want to grab, let's just say a whole bunch. Okay. Okay. See, there's our issue. See, it just all threw 40 in there, but for some reason, this isn't throwing 40. Right? And that's not a counting filter. Is it because we're actually using exact? That's why. I think that's the reason. So let's go in here, exact 40, and let's throw this back in here. Right? So now we're throwing exactly 40 in here. Nothing should ever be higher than 40. That's the hope. So processing. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to throw all those in there. Speed and efficiency. You can kind of see the difference between Mechanism's version of or doubling or chunk doubling compared to Industrial Foregoings, right? This is going to take a significant amount of time compared to anything, right? And you can see that we have 20,000 millibuckets, okay? So now what we can actually do, so let's throw our fermentation station cable. Actually, no, it's not the right machine. We need fluid sieving machine. And here's where another thing comes in. The other thing that we need is sand. And I believe there's no real trade-off with which type of sand we use. So let's get our entangled block, because we're actually just going to do the old-fashioned way. And instead of doing ender tank or anything, or an ender chest or anything like that, we're just going to get the entangled binder to bind this block to the drawer and call it a day. Alrighty, so now we have sand in here. Now what we need to do is say in the back, right? So back, output, push. There you go. We're filling it, and of course we can throw some add-ons in here. Of course, we want to actually grab. What do we need? Just a lot of both of them. So let's go 10, or all of them, not just both of them. 10 and 10. Okay, and you can see, of course, we are just making a lot of iridium dust. And this thing only holds 8,000 millibuckets. So there's some caveats, right? I hope you guys can see the trade-offs with this or doubling. If we were to triple it, it would be better than if we were really pushing for time, right? If we weren't pushing for time, it would be fine, okay? And I don't really care about time too much. I'm fine with this. We don't really use silver or iridium or nickel or, you know, aluminum at all. Honestly, these are the kind of ores that we've been using quite a bit. I mean, tin every so often, right? Whichever this is, which I don't even know what this one is, honestly. I just saw it like pop through for a second. Osmium. This one we actually use quite a bit, and this one's lead. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about this being slow. Not at all. I do think that we do need to probably get this to be round robin on 40 exact, and we can then just do this. Right? Grab our laser wrench. Okay, and then we grab an insert, because it doesn't matter what type of item we're throwing in here. Not really. I mean, we could make it specific, but I'm not too worried about it, just because we really should fly through a lot of this stuff pretty quickly. See, and then there you go. You just saw that 63 end up in there and 6 of this. So let's clear that out. And I just screwed up everything, didn't it? Let's grab a tank. This tank will work. So there's another issue that I don't know 100% how to solve, which is round robin. I mean, we could try it that way. There we go. So throwing enforced on there works. So what we just did was exact and enforced round robin, and I think that'll work. You can see, of course, we're going through it. This is pushing. We're trying to make raw silver. The iridium is still taking forever. We also do need to, of course, get a smeltery, which, of course, we can use mechanism for that. Okay. And then we'll say output back, and we'll want to grab some mechanisms. Actually, I don't know if does this have any upgrades in it? No. Okay. So we could actually just grab at mechanism upgrade, throw those in there, and there is your, basic creation of iridium 5-timesing ore, or whatever ore we put in here. So let's actually grab the rest of these stations here. So fermentation, this one and this one. Okay. We also want to make sure we're pushing out of the back, input, pulling from the front, and pulling from the front. Okay. And then, of course, we'll want to 5 times this, 5 times this, seal when full, 5 times this, seal when full, and let's actually make sure we have input, pull, output, push, wrong direction, push, push, pull, push. Let's get rid of that one. And that should be good, right? So let's then get, let's see, shrinking device. Where is my shrinking device? This thing. All right. And we'll place this here, here, and here. This should fill with sand. And of course, we'll need to run some cables down here. And then down here, because we'll need more than one smeltery as well. And this is, just a system, right? Like, this wasn't that complicated to set up. Honestly, it's a little less complicated than mechanisms. Just a tad bit. And all it takes is a little bit of time. And I think that is absolutely a fantastic trade-off. So we'll push. We will then input, we'll pull. We'll input, pull. And we'll input, pull. We'll output, push. Output, push. Output, push. And let's grab some smelteries. Of course, we'll need to get all of the upgrades that are possible for the good old-fashioned industrial foregoing machines, but that takes time. So let's see. So there's our next smeltery. So we'll do input and then output in the front. And then, of course, let's just keep on auto sort. Let's grab our configuration card, throw all this in there, and let's see about add-ons for these real quick. So we have all 10. All right. So what do we need to throw in first? I think this row, right? And we're out of chunks, because I believe we should have an uneven amount in here, right? So that's awesome. So seeing that we can only have 40 in any machine is absolutely spectacular. I'm loving how simple this is with laser IO. So let's also grab an ender chest. Alrighty, so I quickly went ahead and made an ender chest with a filter over here. So we're currently pushing all of the goodies into the smelteries and all that. And of course, I completely forgot to get the upgrades that are needed. So let me actually put some of my tools away. So, you know, I have so many tools. Let's see here. So let us grab, I don't think I threw, okay, so I threw that on there, that on there, that and that. I'm just kind of trying to make sure what we have. So upgrades, let's grab these and these and these and these. Perfect. Because this definitely should be able to keep up. All right, I think everything is upgraded. Perfect. And let's make sure we get that iridium dust that I just threw in here out of the system. There we go. But yeah, so this is working. We're currently waiting. You can see here, just waiting and waiting. Let's actually grab some processing. The rest of these. So we'll toss in an extra one in each of these that we can. I think every machine can actually have more than one of these. So let's actually quickly make a few more. I was actually trying to subtract 8, but that'll work. Not sure if they'll really be useful, but, you know, better safe than sorry, am I right? I really think that this is just an absolutely awesome system that I wish I knew a lot more about earlier. I don't think I will replace this whole system. Honestly, I think this system is outputting a lot for what it's intended, right? I'm not worried about the ores. I want to put that out there. I'm not worried about the ores. I'm only worried about processing them. I do wish that Iridium and all of these others had the ability to go through mechanism, but this is honestly a better outcome because of the fact that we aren't using mechanism fully. I like, you know, diversifying this and actually getting into this. If you guys really do have any questions, by the way, I don't think I've iterated this in the last few episodes. Ask questions, leave feedback. I really do love responding to comments and stuff like that. But let's get over to what happened with the power. Why do we have over 1 million power? Well, before I do that, we have 6.7 uranium. 6.7 thousand uranium blocks. And off camera, I went, some might say, a little mad with power. Yeah. So I did not actually build this second one. I used the copy and paste gadget, which actually works extremely well as long as you have all of the resources. You can copy and paste these reactors quite quickly. And that's exactly what I did, is I copy and pasted this reactor to here. And then I set up all of the redstone circuitry and pipes and all of that stuff in this corner. So we have 2 massive reactors constantly feeding power. That is why I also added the mechanism crystallizers. I needed a lot more uranium, and we were getting so much uranium that we couldn't process it all. And so we still can't process it all, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I had an entire chest full of ore that was still trying to be processed. So, yeah. Also, we have 9.1k cyanite, which is probably way more than we need to actually make a turbine. But I'm actually going to save that for the future. We are stepping away from extreme reactors, hence why I did not mention any of this at the beginning. I also do have to mention, I did mess with the fluidizers, and I did get the whole process of whatever this fluid is. I can't recall now. I don't even know. Viridium, I think, something like that. which basically this takes uranium, makes it into molten uranium. This takes plutonium, turns it into molten plutonium or the plutonium fluid. Then this combines the uranium and the plutonium fluid to make the veridium. But there is a contingency that you do need 10,000 cyanite in the system to even consider starting this. And then, of course, this over here will only allow this to start when there's 300,000 buckets, because this actually can hold a capacity of 6,624 buckets. Doing 3,000 buckets is kind of half, a little bit less than half, but that's what this whole reactor will actually rely on. And this is actually the size of the reactor before I also made it taller, because I made this one taller again. So just keep that in mind. Also, I've chunk loaded this with that chunk loader there. So yeah, I'm not messing with this on camera anymore. Unless we get to the turbine, I will be messing with that on camera. But for now, this system is working, making these reactors absolutely massive with the amount of netherite. Also, I don't know if I ever mentioned where I got the netherite from. I do have a dimension in here that is just absolutely ridiculous. I really don't remember if I mentioned a lot of things, by the way. If you ever are curious, just holler at me in the comments. I'm not afraid to answer questions. But yeah, we have an entire dimension full of netherite spheres that occasionally I come in here and I mine a few of those with the digital miner. I think the last time I did 25,000 of this, and that's where most of it is gone, is into the actual reactors. Let's see actually how much I have left, because I had 25,000, right? And I have 18,000 left, so that is a pretty decent chunk. With that, I'm going to wrap up the episode. I hope I didn't do too much rambling, but yeah, I'm not going to be building any more reactors off camera, by the way. Like, 2 is enough. I now have 3, but 2 large ones using solid fuel uranium is enough, and hopefully the other one will kick on at some point. It's going to take quite a long time to fill this thing, and I know that. I probably won't ever get it on camera because I'll probably forget about it at some point. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!